Well, I think it's a super interesting discussion because obviously, as Alessandro said, it's a cultural element. You know, Italian football was known throughout the decades and the history for their defensive style, for reacting to their opponents and waiting until you, as an opponent, you make a mistake and then they're going to kill you. The way the game developed over the last 5 to 10 years, it developed into a very fast-paced, very physical, high-intensity approach. High pressure becomes more and more common. The only team, as Ali said, rightfully, is Atalanta in Italy that plays this high-pressure system. But it's very demanding, physically very demanding. It takes years. It takes years to implement that style of play with a team. And this is actually what Andrea Pirlo wants to develop at Juventus. He said that this is what he wishes to achieve at one point. But that transition basically takes really time. And so it's something that, you know, is not established in Italian culture. To make those changes one step at a time, meanwhile having success, obviously, because teams want to win, is very, very difficult for an Italian approach. And the Italian approach is always known, most importantly, not to lose. And then, if we can go forward and win this game, we're going to win this game. We're going to kill it off at one point in time, maybe between minutes 70 and 90. So it will be interesting now to see how these big teams in Italy approach this entire kind of global transition into this fast-paced, very fast transition type of style. But they have to. They have no other choice. They have to do that in order to come back and be successful, obviously in Europe, in the Champions League or Europa League, but also with their national team, which is a very, very talented national team with Italy and Roberto Mancini as their coach.
Everything you're saying, Ali and Jurgen, Ali, it makes sense. But from a fan's point of view, you want victory now. Patience isn't something that you would normally associate with supporters of any big club.
Yes, it's the winning. The win is a key for every team actually now, and especially for a country like Italy that is very passionate about that. So we saw as Filippo Inzaghi with Benevento celebrate a win against Juve, like he won the World Cup again. So it's this is the spirit of the game that we are playing, and this is constantly what is on the plate. We say when you build a team, how long do you have as a talking about time in order to succeed? How long does it take to that level? How long does it take to Pirlo to bring that team to win again? Because the key for Juventus, yes, Coppa Italia is important, even the Super Cup, but the Serie A league title and the Champions League are much, much more.
Oh, Gab wants in again. Gab, what do you want now?
May I? No. Look, I completely agree with what Jurgen's saying. I mean, I think and how this change of mentality has to happen. I think that change is already happening, right? Atalanta, Sassuolo, Verona, Juve want to play that way. Milan, I think, have been playing that way. Anybody who watched their first leg against United away will know what I'm talking about. The problem is that there is so much pressure on people to perform at the same time. You remember that stretch that Juve had a couple months ago when all of a sudden, when Chiellini was fit and he and Bonucci decided that they were going to sit deeper and they were going to be tighter and they got a couple good results, and everybody's saying, oh, look, he's being reasonable. No, he's not. He's being silly. He's playing the old way of playing, which in Europe doesn't work anymore because the game has changed. And I agree what I think Ali made a great point about, not conceding goals. Well, Manchester City, arguably the best team in the world right now, look at their defensive record. They don't concede goals, and yet somehow they magically manage to defend high up the pitch and win nearly every game. So, it can be done. It's just you're not going to do it by sitting deep, by playing slow, by waiting for your superstar to create something out of nothing. And I think that's the transition that clubs are trying to make, but it takes time.
Ali?
Yeah, exactly. So, I was bringing as a Manchester City as an example. You anticipate me as a great defender, but It's the point. And what happened with Guardiola is also something that we need to reflect, because a lot of coaches takes Guardiola as a god in the past 20 years after what he did with Barcelona, right? So, but during these years, Guardiola changed and adapt his game and bring his game on another level. Now, Manchester City is not a team that play like Barcelona with a lot of possession of the ball. They go much more straightforward if they have the possibility. And on the meantime, they keep the defense and the goal really, really safe.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.